go, yeah.
Everyone
We should
knows.
both quickly
Everyone
say
knows
our
this is
things.
suddenly ducks. I'm Bermuda.
And I'm Phil, and he's Warren, and we're about to play some Deathwatch. Over to you, Warren.
Alright, so it's been a while since we played, like, a whole load of crap happened, but, let me see, someone different can explain what happened to the best of their ability. Who will it be? Um, Chris, can you explain to the best of your ability what's happened so far in Deathwatch?
Um, uh,
Do you not remember, Chris?
no. Well, I remember well, Ollie is fucked. That much I do remember. He's on trial.
Alright,
Um,
I'll go over it in brief then. You guys have been searching. Well, it all started when you went to this planet called Spite. Okay, you were following rumors of Tau sympathizers and their involvement on the planet. You uncovered that the Tau were involved in some way in the kidnapping or murder of a bunch of Imperial officers, and it turned out that they were hunting some kind of artifact of some kind called that was sealed by order of the Inquisition. Um, it was in fact sealed by, let me see, this man. Everyone can see him now, yeah?
yep.
If you recall. Grand Inquisitor Lothar Stern was the one who set the thing, put it into secret. Well, I don't even know how to describe it. He covered it all up, whatever this artifact was, and it's been secreted away for quite a long time. You guys call them Javar gates. What they actually are, you're not quite sure, but they seem to be some sort of portals to the warp, and some alien, horrible Xenos warp creatures seem to inhabit the plane just beyond it. And you're not sure what they are, but or why the Tau are seeking these gates to free these creatures. But you know it's bad news. So while you were on Spite, you uncovered this. You stopped the Tau. You also got involved, or at least Ollie got you guys involved in a minor rebellion by the Imperial Guard, who were about 100,000 of them were objecting to the involvement of what's his face? Let me look for his name again. Yeah, Lord
Ebengrave?
Commander Sebastocor Ebengrave. Yeah, he is a well-known paranoid guy who, ever since the Tau attack on Spite, where they crashed a large Manufactoran ship into the planet and caused huge devastation and loss of life, he's become very paranoid, and since then he spent most of his time essentially unjustly purging, incarcerating, imprisoning, torturing all men under his command. And essentially, this fellow here, um, Colonel Septimus Strain, had enough of it, and he and his regiment of 100,000 men under his command objected to this and were imprisoned for it. You guys, in your time on Spite, decided to get involved because Ebengrave was also doing his best to essentially, in a lot of ways, hinder your investigation because he didn't trust you being there, as he's a paranoid, crazy twat. So you guys got involved. You ended the rebellion, sort of, by bringing Sebasticor's rule down, and martial law was imposed on the planet. But this also aroused the ear of the Inquisition, who do not like it when Space Marines get involved in Imperial affairs, because that goes all the way back to the Horus Heresy. So whenever you guys get involved in anything, it sets off all kinds of alarm bells. So you were warned. There's going to be an inquiry into what you did, essentially a trial, when you guys returned. But you found information on the Tau that there was another gate on the Shrine World of Eleusis, which you guys can see. It's here, the big giant arrow on the map. You went there. You did in fact uncover something suspicious was going on, and there very likely was another one of these gates. You had to confirm it after a big giant foray into the underground of Eleusis, fighting Tyranids and other things, which you also confirmed had infiltrated Eleusis. You guys managed to fight off the Tau as they attacked a Sister of Battle monastery, and you managed to find the gate just as a Tau with a very strange clockwork key device of some kind, which you guys took off his corpse, was attempting to unlock the second Javar gate. You managed to stop them just in time, and repel the Tau from Eleusis, and successfully locked or rewarded the gate for future millennia. So it should be fine for now.
I believe we took the Tau command the prisoner.
I think you dominated him, yeah.
Yeah.
We dominated him and got him out of his suit.
Which you were very disappointed at, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's what I said, sorry.
So you captured him, and you're bringing him and the information as well as the strange clockwork device back to Ariok. Okay. So preliminary interrogations of the prisoner indicate that he has no memory of anything he was doing. Just so you know, he has no idea how he got to where he is. It's as if his mind is completely blank. So any interrogations of him prove to be futile.
What happens if we mind probe him?
Yeah, same thing. He cannot remember a thing. There's nothing to mind probe. So the last he remembers, he was on the Tau Sept world, at the front of the Catasalian, down here, and then his mind is a complete blank, and he cannot remember anything. That's as if he's been completely mind wiped, if you know what I mean. So it's very likely he was not himself when he was performing the deeds he was tasked to do. The strange clockwork device that he was using to unlock the gate is equally puzzling to you. It's definitely not man-made, and you've never seen any Xenos device quite like it. So even looking over it, Sarlacc, as in Bermuda, you find very little evidence of what its true purpose is or what it does. It's obvious that it seems to unlock the Javar gates, but what else it can do and to what end, you're unsure. So you decided to keep it in a stasis pod until you bring it back to Ariok for investigation by some of the more senior tech Marines currently stationed there. So you guys spend a month or so, actually about 2 to nearly 3 months in the warp, because you have to circumvent the Hadex anomaly. You don't just go straight through it like the thing arrow there, but you go from Eleusis back to Ariok, which is where Watch Fortress, Watch Station, what's it called again? Yeah, Watch Fortress Ariok. This place is, it's the head of, it's the center of command for the Deathwatch in the Jericho Reach. It's a very ancient station, probably the most ancient station the Deathwatch has in history. Its construction predates the Imperium. It comes from the Dark Age of technology. And it's even rumored that the Omega Vault, the sealed vault at the center of it, was created by the Emperor himself to hide his secrets. And it's slowly been opening up over the centuries and revealing very relevant information to the Deathwatch, which has allowed them to act ahead of time and stop a lot of great catastrophes. And it's rumored when the last door of the Omega Vault opens, the Emperor will return. And the end times will begin. And that day is fast approaching, as there's very few sealed locks left in the Omega Vault. So you guys return to Ariok after a month of traveling through the warp, and on board the Ultima Ratio, which was the strike craft which has been shuttling you around the Jericho Reach for several months now. So as soon as you are into the Ariok system, Brother Captain Mordrus, who's the captain of the Ultima Ratio, sets course for the system's center to make the journey back to Watch Fortress Ariok. Alright, so after getting close enough, after spending about a day getting close to Watch Fortress Ariok, you guys board a lighter ship and head back to dock with Watch Fortress Ariok to give your report and see what awaits you. So the Ultima Ratio's lighter approaches the open hangar bay, a glaring rectangle of harsh white light, the size of a frigate in the somber flank of the Watch Fortress. You spent a number of weeks aboard the Ultima Ratio engaged in prayer and preparation, and now the time has come to see what the senior members of the Deathwatch and the Inquisition make of your actions on Spite and Eleusis. There is a tingling sensation as the small ship passes through the hangar's void shield, and a light thump as the pilot at the controls lightly sets her down on the deck. Through the lighter's ports, you can see Watch Captain D. Dominova an unfamiliar tech marine of the what chapter? Storm Wardens. Yep. And one of the Inquisitors of the Brass Tower, and a number of scribes waiting for you in tow. To a man, they all wear looks of grave expectation. So as you disembark the Ultima Ratio's lighter, you are met by Watch Captain D. Dominova, who praises you initially and gives thanks for your safe and speedy return. He then introduces the other attendants following him. He introduces the Tech Marine as Senior Tech Marine McCretan of the Storm Wardens, and Inquisitor Villas Andarian, who both gaze upon you with a considering eye, saying very little except the formalities. After the requisite formalities, the Watch Captain bids you to follow, and the entire retinue begins to wind its way through the halls of the Watch Fortress to the debriefing theater. Here, Dominova invites all of you present to sit around a copper-faced adamantine briefing table with a holodeck display in its center. Once you're all seated, the scribes set to their recording apparatus, and the Watch Captain bids you to recount the events of your latest mission. So who wants to say what happened?
I look
bear in mind, this will go on official notice, so...
I look to Uriel, since he was squad leader, and just hold my gaze on him.
Well, you were leader on Spite, so...
Well, yeah, he said the latest... Actually, yeah. So
Spite
the latest...
analysis.
Oh, okay, so yeah. I take a step forward then.
Mm-hmm.
And say, where would you like me to start, my lords?
At the beginning, recount your mission on Spite and how it escalated to your deployment on Eleusis, please. And the involvement of the Tau with these strange creatures the astropathic message indicated you encountered.
To start off, we landed on Spite and met with Lord Ebengrave. The man seemed somewhat reluctant to aid us in our investigations to his utmost ability, but we managed just to work through our disagreements.
Persevered.
Persevered, yeah. And we managed to make headway, and the first thing we did after meeting with Ebengrave was we went to Spy Google, I think. I can't remember, this was months ago.
The Eyes of Rat are the name of the system you guys use, but yeah, you guys nicknamed it Spy Google.
Yeah, we used Lord Ebengrave's tools, which the kill team therefore donned, Spy Google, and we used this to try and gain any information about the attempted assassinations on Strain, was it? No.
It was on a number of Imperial officials.
Yeah. Who's the one that lived?
Ryla Van.
Yeah. We used it to look in on the assassination of Van, the attempted and the attempted assassination of Ryla Van, and the assassination of 3 others.
Yep.
We concluded that Colonel Septimus Strain was a key part in multiple of these, and
not really.
Didn't we? Fuck.
No.
Why did we go see him?
Didn't. You went to see him because you heard there were some strange things going on in the camp, but they didn't have anything particularly to do with the assassination.
Okay.
And you ended up following the trail there. It wasn't really anything to do with him. He was just a counter thing, and you managed to get involved in it.
Oh yeah. So it was the medic guy, right? Not the medic guy, but there was a guy in the camp who was part of this, like, their squad or cadre, which we found a photo of.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, okay. I remember now. Say, upon using Spy Google, we encountered a photo of what I assumed to be a cadre of the Inquisition, and all of the parties bar one was accounted for. Therefore, we set our resources into finding out who this man was. It turns out he was in the black zone where Colonel Septimus Strain and his men were.
Correct.
Therefore, our next lead, following that, did we go there straight away? Fuck me.
You did a lot of shit.
Yeah, I know. It's trying hard to remember what order we did it in. Yeah. Following that, we went to the Black Gate, the Black Zone, and upon arriving, we found our devastating Marine Oars, with his keen senses, he identified what he thought was the corpse of a creature. After a quick investigation, we found out that the Kroot were breaking into the Black Zone, and this was not reported because Septimus Strain would fear that any sign of the Kroot in the Black Zone would lead to Lord General, Grand General,
Lord
Grave.
Commander.
Lord
Evan
Commander,
Grave, yeah.
fucking, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Lord Commander Evan Grave into purging the place.
Mm-hmm.
We also found that the man who we were looking for in the Black Zone had been taken away by the Kroot. We therefore followed their tracks and found that the man had a lockbox on his person that we managed to open, and in there we found scrolls of communications that a servitor logged. I think.
Yeah, between Rylavan and a
Unknown party.
member of the Inquisition that was anonymous.
Yeah.
Turned out to
Yeah,
be Stern.
Yeah,
who I
we
just linked you earlier.
Yeah, we didn't know that. I don't think
Yeah.
we know that. Yeah. We found
You
out.
did actually know that because you found the astropathic message eventually.
Oh,
read
okay.
it.
All right. We found out these messages were. Would we still have these honors?
Yes, I suppose so. You could give it to him, yeah.
Yeah. I present them to the General Lords. So we found out these were communications between Lord Ryder Van and Lord General Ryder Van. Fucking titles, man.
Yeah. And Lord Inquisitor Lothar Stern, yeah.
And Lord Inquisitor Lothar Stern.
Yes.
After that, we did a bit in Bob's. We then went to the Hive City.
We did a bit in bombs.
Like we did a lot of shit, man. Like, not
They're just
necessarily.
gonna be like,
You're so well spoken for a Space Marine, but
yeah, they're gonna be.
We did a bit in Bob. You know, all right.
This one has clearly lost his mind. He has fallen to chaos.
Yeah.
Says you, Psycho. You, dude.
Yeah,
But,
I'm getting mutated.
Yeah, we followed some leads that did not proceed anywhere with our current investigation. From there, we went to the Hive City and investigated the. Oh, well, en route to the Hive City, the ruler of the Hive City, that I can't remember the title of that.
Yeah, you can skip past this one.
So, blah blah blah. We went to the bottom of there. We found a ganger who shared some information about the lowest of the Hive, and how he believed how sympathizers were doing or a cult were doing something odd down there. Therefore, we went to investigate, and we did indeed find in a sewer a booby-trapped tunnel, which someone tripped and sacrificed somewhat of their being so that.
God, Ollie, you were terrible at it.
Yeah,
Right,
it was
so-
Sab, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Look,
Yeah.
we'll just get to the gist. He just asked you. I've heard many disparate reports about your activities on spy analysis, and I've read the preliminary reports. It is largely rumor and hearsay, I would wager, and that is why I have ordered you here. Much of what we have gathered is quite shocking, and I would like you to separate the truth from the fiction as soon as possible. So what follows is roughly an hour of intense debriefing at the hands of Watch Captain D. Nominova that borders on an interrogation. There are no questions from him as first, as he prefers you to make your full report, which I presume you guys are just going to do without interruption, before he begins to ask detailed questions of you. The officers show little emotion throughout the debriefing, and their reactions are reserved, no matter what you have to say. Mostly they just sit, listen, and nod, look hard and thoughtfully at you as you speak, as if they are judging your actions and your truth, the truth of your word. So do you want to show do you want to give them the strange clockwork key device you've recovered on Elusive that is currently in Bermuda's possession?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like a
It
good
backs
idea.
up our case.
So when you produce the artifact, everybody roll a flat perception test for me, please. You can get a +10 for your heightened sense of sight. That's about it.
Do cybernetic eyes give you a heightened sense of sight?
Not that's their best quality.
It's going well.
Oh, they're common.
Aw.
Okay, so Bermuda notices at least. Or
How much side did you say? Plus 20?
+10 perception.
Oh.
If you have heightened sense of sight.
Everybody does. All Space Marines do.
Oh.
Boom.
Okay.
See the shit out of that.
Sarlocke and Uriel, you notice that a senior Tech Marine McCretan takes the artifact and starts to tinker with it. He seems to be paying what could be considered to be undue attention to the Xenos artifact, and he seems to be exploring it with glee. So Watch Captain D. Dominova refuses to take the artifact, and instead motions for you to simply set it down on the briefing table for future experimentation later. After a quick description of the artifact and the conditions upon which it was recovered and how you described the Tau were using it to open the gate, Watch Captain D. Dominova summons a chapter serf, bids him deliver the blasphemous thing to Forge Master Greyweaver, and the serf departs with the artifact in tow. Once you've fully recounted your chronicle and the decision for your choices, how you recovered the artifact, the real questioning begins. For the most part, it is the Watch Captain doing the asking, but occasionally the Inquisitor or Senior Tech Marine McCretan asks a pointed question regarding the Tau sympathizers, the strange alien Xenos you encountered, and the Javar Gates. Once you answer them all, I guess, truthfully, or do you guys want to lie about anything? It's your choice.
I think truth is the best way forwards.
I say there was a gene stealer just everywhere.
Well, you can lie about what you did on Spite if you so choose. It's your choice.
No, I don't.
Okay. So once they've grilled you for the better part of an hour, to their satisfaction, you are dismissed to an antechamber while the senior Deathwatch members confer. After no more than a quarter of an hour, you're summoned back into the briefing theater, and Watch Captain D. Dominova addresses you in steady, grave tones. This is disturbing news indeed. Your tale and the data you have provided us paint quite a grave picture indeed. The Tau we are more than familiar with, and mundane as far as Xenos go, though their technology is impressive. Your reports concerning the Tau and their interactions with these unknown Xenos, however, to say nothing of these so-called Javar Gates, constitutes a far more serious concern to the Deathwatch. Further analysis of your report is required. I can make a decision regarding your next mission. I can't make a decision regarding your next mission, sorry. So as of now, I am standing you down. You are to return to your preparations, your rites, and your drills. You may be called upon by your brethren or the Inquisition here at any time. Yet make yourself available to them when required. Furthermore, this business of the inquiry, and he sort of grows grave. This is, however, out of the hands of the Deathwatch, and he sort of turns to the Inquisitor Villa Sundarian beside him and says, "That will be handled by the Inquisition and the Tower of the Brass itself. All I know is that 3 Lord Inquisitors are going to preside over it. One from the Ordo Malleus, one from the Ordo Xenos, and one from the Ordo Hereticus. You are in luck that the arbitrator from the Ordo Xenos is Lord Inquisitor Hezekiah Carmelius, our own Inquisitor of the Tower, and she is quite taken with your actions and your after reports. She has long and great respect for you ever since your mission to Samek several months, or over a year or 2 ago now, actually. And she will be in your favor when it comes. As for the other 2, I cannot speak of them. You'll have to ask them when the inquiry comes around. He just sort of bows, makes the sign of Quill, and says, "Good luck to you, brothers. Report back to your chambers for debriefing." Okay, so with this, the watch captain dismisses you, and for the next several days, each of you return to ordered life in the watch fortress. You spend your days conducting bolter drills in deep periods of prayer and making repairs to your armor and war gear. Servitors and chapter serfs attend to your every mundane needs, while you prepare yourselves for war, mind, body, and soul, and for the trials to come. After all of their business has been attended to, about a week later, you are summoned to a briefing by Watch Captain D. Dominova and told to prepare for deployment. When you arrive at your briefing with your war gear, which is just going to be your default war gear, so anything you buy with requisition doesn't exist right now. Okay. So anything you bought with requisition has to be returned. Okay. So just whatever is in your default kit from signature war gear, from your specialization, from your chapter, whatever is all you have now. Okay. So you find yourself with the watch captain, and he's accompanied by Master Kajute. Master Kajute is the current head of training for Watch Fortress Ariok and Master of the Hunt. Watch Captain D. Dominova bids you to enter into the briefing room and says a few soft-spoken words between himself and Master Kajute, an ancient and heavily scarred battle brother of the White Scars Space Marine chapter, and then bids the kill team to go on about your training with the wisdom of the Primarchs. Once he leaves, the Master of the Hunt turns his baleful gaze upon you and says the following, the following happens. The heavy door sighs closed as Watch Captain D. Dominova passes, leaving you alone with the hulking, sour-faced Master of the Hunt. He glares at you with a single considering eye, piercingly grey beneath a wispy white eyebrow. You have been assigned training to prepare you for your upcoming endeavours, he says in a creaking voice. Shall we begin? Okay. So you guys spend the next few hours hunting through the artificially created habitats of Watch Fortress Ariok, and you're initially given to hunting a great deal of Kroot, who have been captured at great cost and brought here for your training. So you guys spend the next few hours hunting Kroot predator packs through this jungle and taking them off one by one. So let me see. Okay, so when you're finished, a few hours later, as the last of you steps through the entrance to the training chambers, back from the sweltering jungle, Master Kajite slams the door behind you, the clang of the heavy door, his final blessing ringing in your ears like an omen. As you watch the doors you pass through dissolve in a flurry of static and optical distortion, as a hololytic image descends like a curtain obscures the entrance view. This is when you're hunting, sorry. Okay, so a few hours later, as you're in the middle of a hunt, suddenly as you were closing in on a pack of Kroot carnivores a few hours into your training, loud emergency klaxons sound in the training area, startling a flock of gibbering iridescent birds from the roost in a tree in front of you. As the klaxons wail, Master Kajite's voice booms from unseen laud hailers on the roof, ordering you to return to the clearing and exit the training area immediately. So, blood of Sanguinius, exclaims the watch captain the master of the hunt as you come out. The Omega Vault is opening of its own accord. Quickly, come with me. As you follow the master of the hunt, you hear his name and the name of Uriel, your squad leader, being announced over the laud hailers, summoning you to the entrance of the hollowed Omega Vault. Alright.
Onwards.
So, at the doors of the Omega Vault, you meet Watch Captain D. Dominova, as well as Watch Captain Mordegal, Master of the Vigil, and his retinue. Captain Mordegal is in charge of this company of the Deathwatch in the Jericho Reach, as you guys should probably know, but maybe not the new people. There you go, that's him there. He's a Blood Angel, and he's your most senior officer, essentially. And the opening of the Omega Vault is a very rare thing that happens in the Imperium. So to see it happen now is definitely bodes ill. It means something immense is happening at the Jericho Reach. So, blessings and honor be with you in this moment of your glory, brothers, says Watch Captain Mordegoyle by the way of greeting. Strange days are upon us, stranger and darker than usual indeed. I was just informed of your actions on Spite and Eleusis. A Xeno incursion into so deeply into Imperial space is an unprecedented event and one that bodes ill, I believe. I've also been told that a greater honor has been bestowed upon you and Watch Captain Dino Manova, that you are to go into the Omega Vault and gain its knowledge, for it has asked for you by name. So the Omega Vault has asked for you people by name, okay? Go quickly, for I would have a longer audience with you. Come to the briefing chamber, Omicron, when you are done with the Omega Vault. There is much to discuss. With that, the Master Vigil turns away and his retinue follows as they go off to discuss these happenings. So you and Watch Captain D. Dominova have been summoned by name by the Omega Vault. How it knows who you are is anyone's guess. Because this thing was constructed millennia ago, but apparently knows who you are and that you exist, which is strange. So, once you finish your conversation with the Master of the Vigil, you and Watch Captain D. Dominova make your way into the appointed vault. When you arrive, you discover, you go into the long and arduous halls of the Omega Vault. All around you, a proclaimer of an old war anthem you don't recognize from before the Imperium sort of softly plays out along the walls, and all along the bronze and gold embalmed walls are scenes of mankind's great exploration of the stars, coming of the Emperor, the Great Crusade, and other things in great, amazing bas reliefs. When you arrive at the end of the Omega Vault, you find that instead of one vault door, as is usual that the Omega Vault presents, you are instead given two doors. The doors are closed and opposite one another. Above each is a decorative engraving with a simple saying in High Gothic. Above the right door are the words Aeternius Vigilante, and a clenched adamantine fist above a banner reading Praetorian is set in the boss in the center of the door itself. Above the left door is the word Sanguine, and the door itself is decorated what appears to be a family crest. And so if anyone has heraldry, nobody has heraldry.
I'm checking.
Nope.
I think it's either Scholastic or Common Law heraldry.
Nah, I'll check Simon's sheet, see if he's got it.
Because it appears to be a family crest of some kind below this the left door with the sign Sanguine above it.
Nope, someone doesn't have it.
Okay, so nobody has heraldry. It's either common or scholastic lore heraldry, but nobody has it. Okay. So while still closed, the door themselves seem to be unlocked thanks to the arcane machinations of the vault. As you approach, the sound of a plain chant, it's one of those bells they ring in masses, if you know what I mean, is broadcast from the hidden laud hailers, and a light above each door changes from red to green, accompanied by the deep-voiced tolling of a cathedral bell. Okay, so you guys get to choose which door you want to go through, left or right. And if you don't know which door is which, I can read out again.
Yeah, he said one on the left is Sanguine, right?
Yeah, so the door to the left has the word Sanguine in High Gothic above it, and the door itself seems to be decorated with what appears to be an elaborate family crest in gold. The door to the right has the words Eternium Vigilante, and a clenched adamantine fist above a banner reading Praetorian is set and engraved inside the boss at the center of the door itself. Okay.
How do you spell Praetorian?
Praetorian.
Alright. I have to look up definitions for these words.
Yeah, do they mean anything to us?
Sanguineous has
I
something
can tell
to
you
do with
right
blood.
now, Eternius Vigilante means eternal vigilance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Praetorian is like
The front guard or something?
yeah, essentially it's the guys in the Roman legion who guarded the general, if you know what I mean. So it's like essentially honor guard, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And sanguine means blood, if you're interested.
Why is this a hard decision for me?
I
To
don't know.
me,
You
I'd
can
say that
go
we
through
go
both
in.
doors eventually, but you just have to choose which one you want to go through now.
I'll go through
I-
Praetorian personally.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
I point towards the door of the Praetorian and say, "Onward, brothers."
I'm already walking there, motherfucker.
I trip you. Onwards, brothers, first.
You're not my squad leader on Ariok.
So as you approach, and the first one of you to lay your hands on the door itself almost senses your presence and opens to the side. Okay. So the door of the right-hand chamber rises to reveal an awe-inspiring sight. In the center of the small dark chamber, illuminated by a single shaft of light from an overhead spotlight, stands the imposing form of an ancient dreadnought. Painted in the somber black and silver of the Deathwatch and adorned with the livery of the Imperial Fists, the dreadnought is connected to an array of support machinery arranged along the walls of the circular chamber. The cables and hoses that provide the slumbering dreadnought its needed power and nutrients snake from its hull and lie in thick bundles throughout the chamber. As you enter, previously unseen backlit stained glass windows flicker on, showing scenes of great glory and sacrifice from the Imperial Fist's long history, and filling the chamber with their mullein-coloured light. So the chamber on the right appears to be home to a dreadnought of unknown origin and pattern. There is little in the chamber which resembles a chapel more than a storage unit to suggest how or why this powerful machine was interred in the Omega Vault, or why it is now revealed to you, and you alone. So you guys can do a flat tech use test or Medicaid test to assess the Dreadnought and his support systems to see if he's still alive. Okay.
Okay, test.
Yeah, you can do a Medicaid test as well. Alright. So he's done, and yeah, Sarlacc. So I'm gonna say Heastan was assigned to your squad. By the way, I forgot to mention that. So was Marnius as well. Okay, but he was your driver back on the other thing, even though he can't drive that well. But there we go. Okay, so your successful tests tell you that the Dreadnought's hull is a heavily armored variant design, with siege warfare and close combat appearing to be the design pattern's primary purpose. Although its exact pattern and origin are a complete mystery to you, and it is extremely ancient by all accounts. Anyone who has Common Lord Jericho Reach can make a flat test to try and notice something about the engravings and banners all around. Anyone have Common Lord Jericho Reach?
Nope.
Likelihood
Yeah.
low.
And just be like, I know everything.
Not quite.
You guys suck.
Run. Man, my lore buff's in another game. It's not my fault.
All you know how to do is kill things.
We don't even know where we are.
Like, what is the Jericho Breach?
I have chapter runes, if that helps.
It does not, unless you were an Imperial Fist, which you are not. Okay. Let me see. So, you know that the banners inside this room are ancient and seem to indicate that, well, they seem to refer, you don't know what they refer to exactly, but they seem to refer to battles which took place before the Age of Shadow, when the Jericho Reach was known as the Jericho Sector, and before it fell to chaos, making this dreadnought and the Battle Brother within it truly ancient indeed, at least 5 to 6 millennia old. So, successful use of the Medicaid skill and inspection of the life support machinery reveals that the Battle Brother entombed within the Dreadnought sarcophagus is still very much alive and well. He's also in a state of suspended animation and has been so for some millennia, judging by the cogitator which is maintaining him. Further investigation reveals little else to you aside from the fact that he is very obviously a member of the Imperial Fists, as their livery is plastered all over him, as well as the banners around him and on his back. There's no record of just how long he has been in stasis, of his service within the Deathwatch, or the circumstances under which he came to be sealed up inside the Omega Vault. So after a few minutes of your contemplating, making your Medicaid and tech use tests, the following happens. As you contemplate the dreadnought, a short, shrill alarm arises from the life support machinery, only to be replaced by the quiet singing of hymns from unseen laud-hailers. Within moments, the telltale runes on the dreadnought's hull change from amber to blue one at a time, and a quartet of bright floodlights flare to life on its hull as the massive machine slowly awakens. With a deep sigh, it straightens and seems to contemplate you. Red lances of lasers spring from the dreadnought as it scans each of you in turn, and in a deep, tired voice, it announces, "What do you require of me?"
Lorgath takes a knee and says, "You have been entombed in the Omega Vault, oh, Great One. We inquired, but who art thou?"
He sort of ponders for a moment as if he is thinking, and then he says, "You have awoken Brother Sulzbeck of the Imperial Fists."
It's like, Brother Sobek, did you spend any time within the Holy Order of the Deathwatch?
He thinks for a moment and says, "Yes, I was once a member of that. Am I still within the confines of the Jericho sector?"
Says, "Yes, Honored One, you are."
Okay. So he thinks for a moment and then doesn't seem to think much else and says, "What is this place?"
This is the Omega Vault. Do you remember that name? We are aboard Watch Fortress Ariok.
He sort of thinks for a moment and says, "I do not know of the places you speak or where I am, but I am happy to be awoken again." So, this is the guy? Okay. Everybody can see him, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay, and everybody can control him as well, because he's a NPC character that's going to accompany you on missions from now on.
Dibs.
By your choice, of course. So you can like look into his character sheet and see what he has and stuff. By the way, they have interesting things that I need to, because he's a dreadnought. They have unique things going for them. Okay, so they have some interesting things that they can't do. They have a trait called the weight of years. So, due to the process of becoming a dreadnought, the inexorable march of time and the long stretches spent slumbering between battles, those battle brothers blessed enough to be preserved in these venerable machines suffer a slow degradation of their memories. Whenever a dreadnought character uses a skill based on either intelligence or fellowship, he must roll equal to or under his intelligence bonus on a d10. If he fails, he cannot recall the information or knowledge required, and he cannot use the skill again until the next time he is awoken. Okay? Because he's essentially forgotten it. Alright?
Alright.
Dreadnoughts are not affected by blood loss or fatigue. Dreadnoughts have no fine manipulators and cannot complete tasks that require fine manual dexterity. Dreadnoughts can only be repaired using the tech use skill. This basically acts exactly like Medicae except with tech use, okay? Dreadnoughts suffer a -30 penalty on all climb, concealment, shadowing, silent move, and wrangling tests, okay? Additionally, dreadnoughts cannot use the following skills at all and automatically fail should they attempt to do so: acrobatics, contortionist, sleight of hand, and swim. Okay. Besides that, he has a lot of other things. He has hold at all costs. When using this ability, the Imperial Fist character designates one specific terrain feature, fortification, or area up to 10 meters in diameter. When this ability is in effect, the Imperial Fist character and all battle brothers in support range of him within the nominated position are entirely immune to the effects of fear. Okay. He's tactical bolter drill, siege master, siegecraft talent, and a lot of other things. And he's a dreadnought, so he also counts as cover when you hide behind him. So.
Only Dibs. Sorry.
All right. So, is there anything else you want to ask of him? Other than that, you've awoken a mysterious and unknown dreadnought the Deathwatch did not even know existed.
Yeah, I say.
And you can read about him there if you want to.
When was your? I guess I could just read it if it tells me. Does it say the when he was in the wagon?
That's what he knows. So anything you want to ask him, you can just skip over and gloss over, and he'll answer what he sees there. And whenever he answers it rather cantankerously, like a grandfather, if you know what I mean, and makes continuous insinuations that in his day the Space Marines were better. And in his day, they did things this way, and in his day, they did that, and et cetera,
Barefoot
et cetera.
and uphill.
Exactly. So essentially, he was the siege master of the Deathwatch. All right, and he was interred in here, and he can't remember when or why after he, quote unquote, died. All right.
I guess out of honor, Lorgath would ask, Brother Sobek, would you wish to return to your brothers of in the Imperial Fists, or would you want to carry on serving the Deathwatch?
So he just looks and says, "I've sworn the Apocryphon oath, and I will swear to it until the day I die again." And he just sort of says nothing more. So if you guys make, the scribes and the adepts of the Deathwatch aware, they'll come and lead him out of the Omega Vault and get him sorted out, if you know what I mean.
Can he fit through the door?
Yeah, he can. It's obviously
Alright.
big enough for him.
Yeah.
So all that's left is the other door that says
Sanguine.
Sanguinia, sorry, on the door.
Wait. Is there a Primarch behind that Warren?
Maybe. Okay, so entering into this chamber is slightly different. So, as you enter this dark chamber, a massive orange globe at its center slowly comes to life, casting a ruddy, pulsing light and revealing the arcane machines that lie within. Set in the center of the round chamber, the floor, set in the center of the chamber, the floor is covered in adamantine rails, arranged in 12 concentric circles around a central globe. Mounted on each rail by a pylon are globes of varying size, some twice as big as a space marine, themselves surrounded by numerous smaller globes mounted on spindly arms. The central globe itself is set atop a heavy engraved plinth that rises from a dazzling array of adamantine gears, cogs, ratchets, and exposed inside the area of rails set closer to it. In the blackness of the chamber ceiling, pinpoints of light flare to life, showing stars and constellations, and the mellow glow of nebulae. There is a sound in the chamber like the ticking of a clock, and the air is thick with the smell of sacred machine oils and incense. So it appears that in the center of the chamber is a massive orrery, if anyone knows what an orrery is.
I just
Base map.
O or E or Y.
Alright. Spaceman. Oh, okay.
Yes, it's space map, I guess.
Yeah. Is it digitized on like physical?
No, it's physical. So if you look up Ori on Google, you can see descriptions of it. Yeah. So, it seems that it's a mechanical device used to illustrate the relative positions and motions of stellar bodies, and is a combination of both a planetarium and an astrarium at the same time. The central glow globe represents a system star, and the smaller globes are its planets and moons. When you enter, the glow globes slowly come to life, revealing the machine and an ornate brass inlaid adamantine stand holding a control panel at the side. So using the control panel requires a very hard -30 tech use test. Someone wants to make it.
Sounds like a job for the check
Sounds
marine.
like Sarlacc, yes.
What is very hard? Minus what?
-30.
Thank you. Oh, what?
You add combi tool and
Yeah, you plus 9 for the combi tool, all that other stuff you have.
I probably requisitioned that stuff.
I think you start with a combi tool.
Oh, you're gonna make me look, aren't you?
Yep. You ain't bad in this shit, son.
You can always just fate point on them.
Yeah, I don't think I could roll worse.
You could.
I mean,
73% chance of rolling better.
You have 3,425.
Laser clamps. Laser clamps.
Okay, you got it. Okay, so the Ori at your administrations, the Ori springs to life. Its mechanisms clattering and the planets and moons spinning and moving about the room along their rails. Once activated, the aura seems to run for several minutes as it adjusts the planets, stars, and moons around you, and then stops very suddenly. As the aura grinds to a stop, one of the globes is illuminated above by a bright spotlight, several bright spotlights, and seems to indicate some sort of revelation. No one has common Lord Jericho reach, so that's just fucking wonderful.
We don't have High-End Man, Diamond Tech Marine.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of you guys have like in the thousands of experience, and you're not spending money.
I know.
Which is...
Yeah, I've got 900, which I'm saving for my Elite Advance. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
I'm saving up my elite events.
Yeah. Well, Sarlocke, are you saving for anything?
No, I'm just.
You have 3,425
Yeah,
experience.
I do.
You
And
should
for no
probably
good
do
reason.
so, but... Yeah. Well, I mean, you can buy it right now if you want to.
What's it cost?
Common Lore Jericho Reach. I don't know. I think it's in General Space Marine Advances.
Probably.
Let me look it up. Otherwise, you're going to have to get someone to do it for you, which will be very awkward. We send our heroes into the Omega Vault and they don't know shit. Let's see. Yeah. Where the fuck is Jericho Reach? It's probably under Deathwatch. Yeah, it's under Deathwatch Advances. Lore Common Jericho Reach is 400 experience. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes up a lot, so it'd be good to take it. So if you want to spend it, you can roll it then if you want.
Okay, just. Intelligence, yes?
Yep.
You don't have like Cortex implants or anything like that, do you?
Probably do.
I don't think he does.
I don't know.
You have a character sheet. This is where you record this stuff.
I rolled 74 again.
It's actually at a minus 20 as well, so it's even worse now. But you can re-roll it if you want.
Yeah. Minus 20, you said?
Yep. Alright, good. So, studying the charts, you're fairly sure that this planetary system represented here is the Hemaic system, an empty, long-abandoned system on the very fringe of the Hadex anomaly, and the illuminated planet is the lost hive world of Imbru. At this point, a quiet tone sounds from the control panel, and a red light starts insistently blinking over an input jack. So, do any of you have a Mind Impulse unit or a data slate on you?
I have a Mind Impulse unit.
Yep, so you can plug your brain into the control panel. So, doing so, you receive a heavily encrypted data packet bearing the hallmarks of the Priesthood of Mars, or the Adeptus Mechanicus. Once the data is transferred, a noise emanates from the floor like a powerful machine winding down, and all the lights in the room start to go out slowly, one at a time, leaving you blinking in the darkness once it's done.